Hi everyone, Boomer here for Carvel Gaming, and I'm here with Lee.
Hey guys.
And it's spoiler season for Hex TCG. We are approaching set 3, Armies of Myth, and to be fair, this has been a while in coming. We think the game really kind of needs it at this point.
Yeah, as a card game gets more cards, it generally gets better.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing you want is a small card set because it results in a solved metagame. I mean, people who played like the first series of Hearthstone and things like that, you kind of get the idea that the metagame gets solved, and then
it becomes inbred as well.
Yeah, it becomes a very inbred metagame, which is kind of what we've got in Hex at the moment, where Mono Sapphire is quite blatantly the best deck. So it's basically a case of you have to build a deck which either beats Mono Sapphire or you have to play Mono Sapphire yourself. So, you know, when you get a wider format, that tends not to happen. Now, obviously, if you go into Magic the Gathering area and things like that, you end up with like the Delver or Core Blade formats, which were exactly the same. But
yeah.
they try and end up with they do try to have formats where multiple decks are viable, and it isn't just one deck with a target on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the current spoiled cards. So spoilers video has spoilers. Did I mention spoilers? So we're going to go through them and go through what we think of them, including going through the new keywords that have been released. So first up, we have All in the Family.
Which I don't think this is very good.
No, I don't think it is either. I think it's a trash rare. This requires a lot of setting up for... Yeah, it's a powerful effect, but... The only reason you'd want something like that is if you were in a big-ass creature mirror or you were against an extinction deck.
It's still a bit slow for extinction as well.
Yeah, it's too slow for extinction. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, all my guys died and I've got a 5-drop in hand and this useless constant on the table. So it doesn't really... And all it takes... and you know, you have to have because it bins itself. You have to have such control over what you're playing. I think it's a trash rare. So 30 platinum if that.
That's being generous.
Yeah, probably, but you know, it'll probably sell for gold. It's only 30 platinum because you have to list it at 30 platinum.
10 gold.
Oh, I don't know about that. Next up is Creepy Conspirators. Doesn't really seem like much of a diamond card to me.
No, it's more necrotic to me, like blood.
Well, it is necrotic, but apparently they're a diamond necrotic. I guess that since Wild and Blood are the only two colours that are actually native to Hex, to the planet, to Entrath, the rest came from the Hex Shard, didn't they? So I guess this is seen as being artificially created by the Hex Shards.
I don't know. I'm not up on the lore. I just think it's a cracking card game.
Yeah, there is that. Creepy Conspirators has Necrotic Allegiance. Now, for those of you, those amongst you who are Hearthstone viewers, Necrotic Allegiance, or Allegiance in general, is basically the dragon mechanic. So if you have one in hand or... Oh no, the dragon mechanic only counts in hand, doesn't it, in Hearthstone? It doesn't count if one's in play.
Count in play.
No, this counts in play as well. So if you either control a necrotic troop or you have one in hand, when this enters play, you can revert a troop, which means reset its stats and its abilities to what it was when it entered play. Could be a potentially useful trick, but 5 mana's a lot for a creature with 3 toughness.
Yeah, the 3 toughness puts me off. I think it's going to be alright in limited though.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely sure
if you can
about
get
that.
enough of the faction.
I think that there'll be... It depends how widely they spread the faction out. I think that Necrotic's mainly going to be in Diamond and Blood. Sort of how Shanare's in Wild and Blood, really. You tend to have the factions tend to be in 2 colours.
It feels very splashable, though.
It is true. It's only got 1 diamond threshold, so it is very splashable. So you could see playing it. It really depends how the rest of the set comes out. I mean, Crackling Bolt won't be in this draft format, so you won't risk losing your 5-drop to a 2-drop removal spell. But I'm sure there'll be something else to make up for it. Next up, we have Ghost Feather, which is when this enters play, the next troop in your deck gets when this enters play, you may transform another target troop you control into a Spirit Eagle. So what I'm actually going to do is just move Ghost Feather aside a little bit here and show off the Spirit Eagle. And there, in fact, is Spirit Eagle. Spirit Eagle is a 3/2 with flight that, when it attacks, exhausts target opposing troop that does not have flight.
That seems interesting.
It does really. I mean, it's a 3 mana 2/2, which is below the curve. Yeah, that's fairly small. However, the fact that you can then go and turn, your next creature comes into play and turns Ghost Feather into a 3/2 flight, which can attack immediately, that seems fine. For an uncommon, that seems fine. The Coyotes, they're a 3-colour tribe, actually, Coyotes. They're in Diamond, Wild, and Sapphire, as anyone who played against Zodiac Shaman in the arena will know. But their power in this is called Prophecy, and it's basically about manipulating your deck.
It's a very unique thing to Hex, actually, because you can't do it in a real-life card game, can
Exactly, you can't do it in a real-life card game. You have to do it in a online card game.
The Coyotes will save us from the lawsuits.
No, but I think it's an interesting card.
I think this is very good.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it'll take off inner conflicts and things like that? And minuses?
I don't think it does. It doesn't revert the creature, it only transforms it. So I don't think it removes minuses. If it reverted it and then transformed it into a Spirit Eagle, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, if it looks like that, it's amazing. If it looks like this, I think it's finely limited, but I doubt it'll see playing constructed.
Yeah, I very much doubt it sees constructed play, but I think that it's fine in limited. Next up is Inflict Doubt. Play this only if you control more troops than each opposing champion. Target opposing troop gains this, can't attack or block. So it's in a conflict with conditions.
But it costs 2.
But it costs 2, yes.
And has a funky 2-trunked elephant thing.
It does, really. I'm not sure what that is.
It seems like a lot of the rush decks can go stop your Eldritch Dreamer attacking. I'd play this in draft, definitely.
Yeah, I think it's also something where you can play your rush deck, and if your opponent makes like a 5-mana 4/4, which just stops you from attacking, you go, actually you can't block and come in. So if your opponent's playing a slower control deck, it kind of negates their first big drop, and it allows you to play another drop, because that one extra mana can really matter over in a conflict.
I think it's interesting it's that if you control more troops than each opposing champion, so maybe multiplayer's on the way.
I think that was something that they did say it was going to happen, both in a sort of both in like a 2v2 format, but also the raids that are coming, in the campaign and the dungeon raids that are coming. Some of those fights will be 3 versus 1. It'll be like three teammates against a like super overpowered AI. So if the AI has cards like this, they're just like, actually, it's like he controls more troops than all of us. No, maybe he doesn't. So it's interesting, definitely to see it. But
I think it's going to be a limited bomb.
Yeah, I mean it's at uncommon, which whereas in a conflict is common.
It's like I'm ahead, so I'm going to stay ahead.
Yeah, it's a stay ahead card, which is fine. Next up, we have Mist Lord. It's a 3/3 for 4 with 1 shot. Oh, it's got shift, and we're going to have to explain what shift does very soon as well. However, let's just look at its ability first. Void this. It gets at the end of your turn. If this is in your void, put it into play.
Pretty powerful. So remove my guy, void my guy, blow up the board. My guy comes back. Yep,
that's definitely one thing to do. And the ability that it has is Shift, which is 1 mana, which is basically 1 mana. Take the text off this creature and put it onto another creature you control. So his ability is a 1-shot, by the way, so you can't just keep boinging your guy. But for example, you could transfer this ability onto, a Buccaneer, for example, which has already bounced something. Then you put it out of play and it bounces something again.
Or a menacing grout.
Or a menacing grout,
I feel like we'll be rehashing this conversation a little bit later.
We probably will be rehashing this conversation a little bit later, but we've always been fans of the... I mean, I guess they're called blink abilities, or what you'd call them in Magic the Gathering would be blink abilities, based around momentary blink. These abilities are amazing. Now, obviously, people who play Hearthstone go, but we have this in Hearthstone. It's called... What was it? Is it Ancestral Spirit or something?
Ancestral Spirit kills it and brings it back into play, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, like
yes. However, that triggers death rattles in Shaman, but it doesn't trigger battle cries. Whereas in Hex, it's the other way around. It triggers battle cries. So it's something where, you know, in Hex, in Hearthstone, if you had a card which was like 1 mana trigger your creature's battle cry again, there's a lot of very powerful battle cries in the game.
Yup.
Next up, we have Azawa's Dance. This is one of a cycle of cards, which are the first, I believe they're the first non-troop cards to have sockets in them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So this is a basic action which is socketable major, which is important, and troops in your deck get all socketed powers of this card.
So yeah, you pay 6 and give all your creatures ridiculous power. X.
Yeah, and some of the major powers are ridiculous, like punch your opponent in the head for the amount of power this creature has when it comes into play.
Or Spell Shield's not major, is it? But
No, Spell Shield's minor. Or draw a card whenever it deals damage to your opponent.
Or draw 3, discard 3.
Draw 3, discard 3 when it deals damage to your opponent. Or every single creature in your deck is a Zentos Inquisitor, you know, that shrinks something when it comes into play. Every creature in your deck mills your opponent when it comes into play. There's a lot of things this can do. The only thing I have against it is it costs 6, which is a lot of mana. You know, that is a lot of mana for a spell that does not affect the board.
Yeah. The thing is, if it cost anything less, it'd be really busted.
Yeah, it's like if this cost 3, it'd just be a 4-off. Like every single deck which intended to use troops to win, which, by the way, is all of them. So, yeah, I think it has to cost 6, but because of that, I think that it's going to be very, very limited.
You still have to hit all the thresholds as well for the
yeah, you have to hit the thresholds for the sockets, yeah. So, I think you'll take it in limited, because if you can cast it while the game's at any sort of parity, your deck just becomes way better than your opponent's. So you end up being a favourite in a top deck war. Next up's a biggie. It's Purge. Choose a troop you control. Void all troops that don't share a trait with that chosen troop.
What are the traits like? Flight?
No. The traits are Venom. You know, like the troops are Rogue, like Warlock, Mage, things like that. Creature types.
So if it doesn't have a trait, then it would void all troops with a trait then?
I have no idea. I think every troop has a trait of some description. You know,
okay.
Even if it's construct or things like that. It's whatever creature type, basically.
Oh, okay.
And there are a few troops in this game with like 3 different troop types, so you have to be a little careful with it. But this could be something that might see play if there was if there's a human faction deck or something like that. The fact it only needs 1 diamond resource is definitely something as well. The fact that you can just use it if a late game stall develops, you just go bang, and it voids as well, which is a big deal.
So it's like a one-sided Wrath of God, basically.
It's a one-sided extinction which voids, so theoretically. So I can definitely see this seeing some play. It certainly, I would actually think it would see play in like a go big deck. For example,
it'd go in a very good big wild deck or something.
Well, what I was thinking of, the Ruby Diamond deck that we were playing. Yeah. If you just shove Hex engines in that, you can get a Zakir out fast and then blow up and then void absolutely everything that isn't a dragon. So
Feels like you probably win if you've got Zakir anyway.
it does
And
feel
next
like,
one tap.
yeah, if you get to ready everything and you've got a Zakir in play, you probably win anyway. But obviously this is a limited bomb because it's a one-sided extinction in limited, which is just ridiculous. And you
It's
probably,
like, I'll keep my best guy and kill all your guys.
yeah. Or if you've got a tribal deck, which this set does seem to be trying to make you draft tribal, it's like, I'll keep all my guys and blow up your side of the board.
So I'll keep my coyotes and your guys can die.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Stop. One of the AA cards for the VIPs, Valiant Escort. It's a 2-1 for 1, which is obviously fine. And it has 1 sacrifice it, bounce a troop you control back into your hand. So this feels fine to me. It's a 2-1 for 1.
Yep.
You know.
Generally a good one drop, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Savage Raider isn't played that much, mainly because it has to attack every turn. This does not. And it can also play stupid combos with Grolks and Buccaneers late in the game. So I think this is absolutely fine. And if you are a Hex VIP, just get 4 of the alternate art and just laugh. Okay, so that's all the diamond cards we've got so far. Bit of a mixed bag. Some of them were completely unplayable, others we think are fine.
Yep.
So let's move on to some blood cards. First off, we've got Blood-Soaked Brawler. It's a 0-2 with Rage 1, and it can't be blocked by troops with attack less than this troop's attack.
See, I think this is fine as long as you've got something that pumps it already.
Yeah, if you've got a Blood Aura or something like that. Or even better, the, what is it, Cobtecles Thirst or whatever it's called, the +3/-1. And you just go, make this a 3-1, in for 4 because I've got Rage. I don't think any of your guys on turn 3 are going to have this. And then you just keep raging it up to the point it's completely unblockable.
2 toughness though, and it is a 2-drop. I think it'll be fine.
That's true. I think that this would actually be fairly good against the mono Sapphire deck because you just can't ever block it.
I just think you bounce it and laugh at it and
Sapphire
charge it.
Yeah, Sapphir's charge, but that's a board card mainly. Speaking of cards that the mono Sapphire deck laughs at, Devouring Doomspore.
Doom.
It's an 8-mana 6/6, which is a lot of mana. And it's also a mushroom. It's a Shroomkin.
And maybe this is the finisher the Shroomkin deck needed.
Well, we would normally say that an 8/8 for 6, sorry, a 6/6 for 8 is pretty much unplayable, except for that text. If you control 3 blood threshold, when this is in your hand, you can sacrifice 3 troops and play it for nothing. Do you get the feeling that Monsoon in this might end up having a bit of a party at some point?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, if you think about the early Rabbit Guy drops, they're all pretty good when they die.
Yeah, you've got a Shroom Troll, which gives you 2 Battle Hoppers. But the other one I was thinking of is the Darkspire deck.
Yeah, that seems pretty busted.
Yeah, it's like just make my Monsoon, make a couple of Darkspire guys, bag them all off, deal you 6, you discard a card or whatever, put my 6/6 into play, Monsoon comes in, brings everything back.
Yeah, seems like it could be a one-of in that deck.
Oh, certainly, I certainly can see it. The only problem is, I think, is you sack your board and the opponent goes, Buccaneer it. It's like, that's awkward. So, yeah, I think that, and this is one of the problems I have, I don't think it's a problem, but I think Buccaneer is such a defining card in the format at the moment that you can't have a card that gets battered by it in your deck. It's one of the reasons why I actually think Corpse Fly is so good at the moment, because Buccaneering Corpse Fly is an exercise in futility. So, yeah, I think that you playing cards, I think they're playing, old school, we call them 1/8/7 creatures. It's like, playing those cards seems to be sort of the way forward at the moment, because you don't just get bent over by Buccaneer doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you can give this guy some way of giving him some Inspire. He always hits all the Inspire things you might have in play, so...
Yeah.
You know, you might get a couple of drawer cards off him and stuff
like
that.
Yeah, I mean, that was the other side, I think, if you can play him with, like, Mirror Knight, and he's, like, your 4-drop in that deck. Or you just drop him the turn before Monsoon's going to turn over, so either way, you don't really lose much. So, you know, even if it does get buccaneered, you can just do the same stuff again.
It's a shame it says basic. If you said quick action, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, my quick action 6/6.
Be fine.
Which then untaps and turns into a 9/9. Anyway, I think it's fine. I do have a little bit of an issue that it's legendary. But it does feel that, you know, it does kind of, the ability feels kind of legendary on that front. Next up, we have Exarch of the Egg, which I put over here. Which I put over here for a reason. Now, everyone who plays Zarloks in the arena will hate anything to do with eggs. And the good news for it is they're making it a core mechanic of Armies of Myth. So, Exarch of the Egg, I think this guy's really good, by the way.
Yeah, because he's lethal as well.
Yeah, he's a 1/3 with lethal. When this or another Venom enters play under your control, create 2 spider eggs for each opposing champion and put them into their decks. So, let's have a look at Spider Egg, which is this. I love the thing in the top left-hand corner there, the whole, like, you should not have drawn this.
It says Bane as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a card type Bane, which we haven't seen before. It's basically a curse card that goes into your deck. And it has, when this enters your hand or graveyard, put the top card of your deck into that zone, void this, and a random opposing champion creates a Spiderling and puts it into play. And just so that you guys know, a Spiderling is a 1/1 unblockable. So, I actually think this guy's quite cool.
You mean we don't get the big spiders? Stupid 5/5's killer thing when it comes into play.
Wait. Should I just say on that one? So, I think, I actually think Spiderlings are quite cool. And I think they could turn into a big threat. It's like a big mechanic of the Venom is creating these spider eggs, but the way they worded it, it doesn't screw over how your opponent draws, because your opponent gets to draw another card after the spider egg. But it means you're getting free stuff that your opponent then has to deal with. And additionally, it means that if you hit a couple in a row, and let's face it, spider decks will probably end up playing Chronic Madness at some point, because why wouldn't anyone want to be Zarloks? I can definitely see this potentially being like super annoying to deal with. Certainly in limited, it's like your opponent gets
limited seems nuts.
Yeah, your opponent gets like 3/1/1 unblockables. You're like, well, this is tedious.
Just like poke, and then you stick a blood aura on them.
Yeah.
What's its own kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's like these with any sort of buff on them seems like it's going to make things awkward. Also, the other thing I have to say, spiders with Cerulean Mirror Knight. It's like, oh look, draws a card, draws a card, draws a card, draws a card, draws a card.
That blood diamond deck, that blood sapphire deck we've been looking at making better.
Yeah. I think that could definitely go into there. So, yeah, quite excited. I do like him. I do like that guy. I think he's... I don't know if he's... I think that if there is a Venom deck, he will definitely be constructed playable.
I think in, like, Limited, he's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, in Limited, he's crazy. Next up, we have Hatchery Priest, which is a 1-mana 0/2 with Exhaust it, create a Spiderling, and put them into your opponent champion's deck. So you're getting the idea.
Yeah, that's the synergy for Blood. This.
Yeah. Next up is Merciless Colour, because Shannara exists too. When this enters play, each champion sacrifices a troop. I think this is
Sorry,
really...
this is the first time I've seen the artwork. That's amazing.
It is funny, isn't it? It's like, don't kill me! Why?
It looks like he's already skinned it.
Yeah, it's like he skinned it and now he's going to kill it.
I think this card's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I think
like,
it's
again,
really good.
Dark Spear deck, or...
Yeah.
I just think he's fantastic. Any of the guys that when they die do stuff.
Yeah. The other fact that he can get round, I mean, it's not currently played much in Standard, but it can actually kill like Fist of Brigadon, which isn't, it can kill something which has got Invincible or Spell Shield.
Kills artifacts for Blood as well.
Yeah, kills artifacts without having to use Terrible Transfer. I think this guy's definitely, he's going to be someone who we're going to be seeing quite a bit of.
Which is very interesting because I don't think he'd be that good in like Magic or something.
Well, no. Well, I mean, Gatekeeper of Malakir was the one-sided version that Saul played, didn't it? Wasn't there a 3/1 for 3, which was both players sack a creature when it comes into play?
No, it's when it dies. That's why.
Oh, right. That's why I wasn't very good. But this guy I think's fair. I think this guy will definitely see play. Next up, we have Mindrake, otherwise known as Spiders.
Spider Sludge.
Yep, Spider Sludge. Choose target troop you control. It's the Blood Purge, isn't it? It's the Blood version of Purge. Instead of nuking creatures, it nukes your opponent's hand. It's like, this feels like it could be incredibly powerful.
Only in Constructed, though, it feels.
Definitely Constructed. I doubt it'll be a big hit in Limited, but in Constructed, this feels like discard your hand.
Yeah, it is. It's turn 5, you've got no hand. But you're just going to play enough guys.
Well, you're putting eggs in your opponent's deck, so it's just.
I just think you go make a 2-drop Dark Spear, make a 3-drop Dark Spear, There's a 4-drop one, is there, or is he 5 or 6?
No, he's 5. The the Darkspire Punisher, but there might not Punisher, Tyrant, but there might be another couple of Darkspires coming. We don't know.
I mean, discard 3 seems fine.
Yeah, I mean that seems fine, but I think anything above 2 is really harsh. Because you've got to compare it to Misfortune from the first set, which was played for a while. It isn't anymore. But if this makes you discard 3 or 4 cards, the problem is your opponent is already ahead on board because he has enough creatures to make you discard 4 cards. So therefore, it's pretty much a lock. I think this is a lock up the game style card. But again, it's splashable because it only has 1 blood threshold. So you could actually see it in a maybe not a human deck, but you could see it in like Shinare deck. You know how many Shinare get spat all over the battlefield. You know, instead of having spiders crawling all over him, it should be rabbits all over him.
So you could just make 2. What's the one that puts 2 Battle Hoppers into play?
Shroom Shraw. That's when it dies, though.
There's one that you can just cast and you get like 2 random.
Oh yeah, Shroom Tank.
Yeah.
Which is a bit crap. You can just use Concubunny. There's a use for that. There's a use for all those alternate art Concubunnies that everyone's got now. Next up, I think this card's amazing. Noxious Glory. As an additional cost to play this, sacrifice a troop. Void each opposing troop with power 2 or less.
Yeah, but I think there's just a lot of. Well, all the Darkspear have got death rattles, haven't they, basically?
Yep, so that...
Playing this, it's just like nice aggro deck, bro.
Yeah, but it's also the fact that this cacks all over the Mono Sapphire deck apart from Reese.
And Eldritch Dreamer.
Yeah, and Eldritch Dreamer, but... You know, you are playing it on 3, and it's the fact that this kills everything that a Mirror Knight... You know, most of the stuff a Mirror Knight has buffed without triggering the Mirror Knight.
Yeah, it's the Void that's powerful, right?
Yeah, the Void's just amazing on this. If it said Destroy, I'd be like, well, just play Extinction. But the fact it says Void each opposing troop, and it's opposing troops as well, so you can, again, just set up a situation where you've got one side of the board. And this is 3 mana to cast. It's like, that's seriously swingy.
3 mana and a rubbish dude to cast. Like, bag off my giant corpse fly.
Yeah. Which I'll probably call the grave and use again just because I'm a douchebag.
And that's been buffed by my Mirror Knight for getting greedy.
Yeah. So I think this card's awesome. I really do.
I don't think it's a main deck card.
Maybe not. But I
what
think
about in Limited then?
I would play it pretty much always in Limited.
I don't know, it's pretty narrow.
It is fairly narrow, but it's also the fact that it just allows you... It allows you to completely rule that end game. Sorry, not the end game, but like it allows you to...
The mid game.
Yeah, it allows you to just rule the mid game. So I am a big fan of this card. I think it might... You're probably right that it has more applications in Constructed than in Limited, but I think you still obviously take it in Limited. Any effect that powerful is something that you've got to watch out
Depends
for.
how good aggro is in Limited.
Yeah.
Yes, depends on the Limited format.
It does. Next up, Nightmare style card, Paraphagy. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. Or Periphagy, I don't know.
Periphagy, I think it is.
Periphagy. Destroy target opposing troop, create 4 spiderling eggs.
5 for a kill spell seems fine.
Certainly for Limited, yeah. It's just a destroy it, kill it, that's it. And it's common as well. Yeah. So that seems fine. And if you look very, very closely, there is actually a spider crawling out of that person's eyeball. So I hope you all sleep well tonight.
Yeah, Limited.
Limited first pick.
Yeah, that's your
Absolute
meat and
first
potatoes
pick.
of your deck, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. First pick and then just go Venom. Next up, named after one of our community members, it's Fentio, the Blood Priest.
Oh, this is the one with the eggs I want.
Yep. 1/4 for 3. Create 3 Tarantula eggs for each opposing champion and put them into their deck. By the way, this is what a Tarantula looks like. It's a 5/5 that when it enters play, destroy target opposing troop.
Welcome to, if you open this card, you have won the draft.
Yep, because the fact is, he's 1/4, so he's frigging impossible to remove. You know, he is pretty much...
Let's face it, you're cutting all the blood at that point.
Yeah. It's like he's incredibly hard to remove. And then he just fills your opponent's deck with 5/5s.
For you.
For you. And the thing is, this guy is... Tarantulas are so annoying, I actually built a deck to steal Zarlox's Tarantulas in Arena because I was that pissed off at him making them.
And it's always the top 3 cards of your deck as well.
Oh, absolutely. But I actually built a deck where I want him to mill the Tarantulas into play. So I can then kill them and steal them.
It's because you're odd.
Well, I ended up beating him down with his own Tarantulas. He deserves it.
Did it make you feel better?
It did make me feel a lot better, and I will be showing that deck off very shortly as well, because I think it's hilarious. Yeah, this guy's obviously amazing in Limited. He's obviously like you just won the draft in Limited. Constructed, yeah.
I think he's pretty good because you're playing with Chronic Madness.
I think he's definitely constructed playable. I think you're probably playing with Chronic Madness. He's also an answer to Reese as well in a roundabout way.
I think this is going to be like an all-star sideboard card as well for the control mirrors.
Because the annoying thing is you cannot counter that Tarantula when it comes in play. It just drops itself into play. So it doesn't matter how many counter magics your opponent has, that thing is in play. And you know what's also bad? Buccaneering Tarantula.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It's like, that is not something you want to do.
I'd happily pay 6 for that guy.
Yeah. I mean, you paid 0 for him originally, right? Yeah. I think this guy is going to be a sideboard all-star at least, and he's an I just won in Limited. So if you can pick some of him up on the cheap at the early point, I would recommend doing so.
Shh, don't tell him that. I want to pick him up cheap.
Well, yeah. And we have Vampire Princess.
This one's weird.
This is
weird. A lot of text.
She does have a lot of text, but she is also the counterpart to Vampire King, obviously. So the way to think of her is a small Vampire King that instead of hitting your opponent's creatures, hits your opponent's spells instead. So if Vampire Princess hits your opponent and you reveal a random card, if that random card's an action, number one, they lose that action because it gets voided. Then it comes into your hand as a Vampiric Kiss, which is... Yeah, which is 3 mana, quick action, deal 2 damage to a champion or troop, gain health equal to the damage dealt this way. Which is fine, you know, I quite like that as a card. And also, if Vampire Princess is in your opening hand, Vampiric Kisses cost 0. So, I think she's fine.
Yeah,
I think
Constructed, whatever, Flight, Life Drain. Limited. Limited, you probably won't get a lot of kisses, but Flight, Life Drain.
Yeah.
3-drop, whatever.
I can see a dirty as hell constructed format with just you have no hand ever type deck. Where you're talking like Corpse Flies, Vampire Princess, Vampire King, Inquisition. Yeah, and you could even run Mind Rake and just say Undead on it or something like that, whichever way you wanted to do it. I think that she's constructed playable, I really do.
So pick a couple up, probably get played.
She is rare as opposed to legendary as well, which is helpful. And don't play it against me when I'm playing my Wild Sapphire combo deck, please. Otherwise, I'll get very sad. As you start eating all my spells. And finally, for blood, I believe we have Vicious Vivisector. It's a 3/5 for 5 with Venom Allegiance, and when it enters play, bury the top 3 cards of each opposing champion's deck. Hi, I'm Zarlox, and I would like to introduce you to my Tarantula. It's basically what it is, right? It's basically to try and hit your opponents. I mean, it's a 3/5, which is a fairly big body on it, and it's just to try and activate some spiders.
Yep. I think it's it'll probably if you can pick up a few of these in draft, you can just mill your opponent out plus the spiders, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Inserts obvious synergy here.
Yeah. So we quite like the blood cards, don't we? For the most part,
Yeah.
they seemed pretty good. Blood seems to get a bit of a buff. Now onto the fun things in life. We have Sapphire cards. First up is Augur of Sirion, and boy is this a card. It's 4/5 flight for 6. You can see the top card of your deck, and you can play the top card of your deck. It isn't revealed to your opponent either.
It's pretty nice.
Yep, so that means that you can play shards off the top of your deck, which then reveals a spell which you can play off the top of your deck, and then you can play the next card off the top of your deck.
What do we think then? Control finisher?
The problem
Mid-range?
The problem that you have to ask is he better than the dragons? It's like, is he better... Number one, is he better than Zedu? Which is 5/5 flyer. When it hits your opponent, draw cards equal to the highest casting cost of another permanent you control. So I think he is better than Zedu, but he's not better than Zakia.
No, it's definitely not better than Zakia.
So
tell by the silence I've not played Zedu or whatever he's called, so he can't be that good.
No, I played him for a bit, and the problem is, unlike Zakia, who only has to stay in play for a turn, Zedu has to stay in play for a turn and then attack.
Well, this guy's like, you say you play him on like turn 10, you get a shard and you get a spell.
Yeah, so he's like mega late game. He's how you wrap the game up completely.
Nice artwork as well.
Yeah, but then again, I think that Reese is how Sapphire wraps up everything at the moment. So
yeah, this guy definitely isn't Future Sight.
No, definitely not. Well, no, because your opponent sees it when Future Sight comes into play, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Next up, we have a card that isn't in English, but I will translate for you. It is whenever you create a spot. It's during your... Now, this is going to be your finisher in the Venom deck. This is at the start of your turn, create a copy of any egg that's in your opponent's deck and shove it in your opponent's deck.
Nice. Because when they'll need all the spiders.
Yeah.
Come.
So it's like when you've already put 6 tarantula eggs in your opponent's deck, you might as well have 12, right?
He just looks like a badass priest.
That's probably what he is. And he's 3/6 as well, so that's a lot of ass.
For a 5-drop, that's a big ass.
Yeah, that is a lot of ass.
Well, if you look at the picture, he has got a lot of ass. He needs more legs than 2 to carry it.
That is true. So, yeah, limited obviously is amazing. Constructed depends if there's a Venom deck around. If there is, he will probably be a part of it.
Yep.
Next up, Cerulean High Counselor. He seems to be a sort of weird amalgamation of Holiday and like something that isn't that good.
I think he's a real weird animation of bad.
Yeah. It's like, 1 for 1, exhaust it, put a troop with cost equal to or less than this troop's cost from your hand into play, put this into your hand and it goes more expensive. That seems... I'm not sure about this.
It depends whether put into play triggers come into play abilities.
It does do. It does, yeah.
So you can't even use it to get around any drawbacks of things coming into play or whatever.
No. The only thing you can do, I suppose, is it makes... The one thing it does do, it makes any troop that you have with the same casting cost uncounterable.
Yeah, then they just counter the counselor, right?
Yeah, that's true. Or they just kill it, it's a 0/1. It's
I don't like it.
It takes so long to get up to the point where anything you're casting is relevant. I don't think that it's worth it, really. Next up, Harbinger of Haster. It's a 7-mana 5/8. When this attacks, exhaust up to 5 target troops. Now, here's the interesting one. 20% chance if you control a Sapphire. At the start of each opposing champion's turn, if this is in the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal it and exhaust a random troop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think
The
as well.
artwork's amazing though.
Yeah, the artwork for a lot of this set is really, really nice. I think they kind of wanted to bring out a load of good art because of all the extended art that's going to be happening when set 3 drops.
I really like this guy in Limited.
Oh yeah, in Limited he's utterly ridiculous. I don't think he'll see much constructive play.
Nah.
The 20% chance is interesting. It's like, could you imagine that in a real card game? Hang on, I've got to check the top 5 cards of my library. Then we've got to flip.
Roll a dice.
Yeah, then we've got to roll some dice. It's like, why didn't they do this in the beginning? Never mind. Next up, Indigo Dreamwalker. 3/4 flight for 4 with prophecy.
Yeah, this is bonkers, this one, isn't it?
Yeah. When this enters play, the next card in your deck with cost 1 or greater gets. It doesn't cost anything. Why am I seeing Shoggoth here? Never mind. Yeah, this guy feels really, really good. I mean...
Oh, can you imagine this guy hitting Zodiac Divination?
That'd be fun. You know, the thing is, this guy... I think you can compare this guy to Vampire King. I really do think you can compare him to Vampire King. I think he's on that level.
I think he's better.
I mean, the fact is, 3/4 flying for 4 is underneath... you know, cheaper than the curve would dictate. Because 4 is actually very hard to kill. So you can kind of see where, like, you know, Eldritch Dreamer can be held under control with, say, Inquisitor or Crackling Bolt or something like that. Reese is pretty much unkillable. And it's pretty much the same way with Indigo Dreamwalker, I think. So this guy is hard to deal with because he's got 4 on the ass for 4. And... yes, he's got RNG where it's like you can play the next card in your deck for free, but it's always going to be beneficial come what may.
Boomer. What if this hits a Chimes of the Zodiac in your combo deck?
I wish I could see the top card of my life. Oh, wait, I can! It's like, yeah, I think that... to be honest, if there's
there was a way to blink him.
Shush! I think this guy will see play. I really do. I think he's
I'm getting 4 as soon as I can.
You won't, because there'll be 2,000 platinum each.
Yeah, well, it's been a while since I put some money into a game, so I got some spends coming.
Yeah, you can actually see my platinum keeps ticking up every single video that I make. It's like,
I sold some packs.
Yeah, I mean, I could at the moment, because I made some packs from the speedrun thing. Well, I ended up finishing 3rd in that Hex Primal speedrun. Unfortunately, someone figured out the format a little bit better than me right at the end. But
was it not the same deck then?
No, it wasn't the same deck. It's the same idea. You go all in on Brutal Commander and Zakoi, but he went in a much better way than I did.
That's why these things are for, right? It's to think another different way.
Yeah, I mean, basically his version doesn't 15-0 as often as the Orc Rush deck does.
So it was like the concepts I was talking to you about. You want to find the best perfect run deck. Yeah,
you find the run that does it the fastest, not necessarily the run that's the most consistent. And to be honest, a lot of people have been saying they reckon that deck could go under 30 minutes. So if that's the case, then, you know, fair cop. But yeah, this guy, I've got some spare packs as well, so I can always liquidate if I think this set's really good. Yeah, so Indigo Dreamwalker's properly good. We like it.
A lot.
Yeah. Next up is Marrow Mage. It's a 4-mana 1/3, which is not very impressive. However, it has a nice shift ability, which is when this deals damage to a champion, draw a card for each damage dealt. Yes, I would like to shift this onto my Indigo Dreamwalker and draw 3 cards every time I hit my opponent's face.
Yeah, it's each damage dealt, which is why it's busted.
Yeah, I think this is good. It might be a bit slow for constructed.
Yeah, I'd have liked it to cost 3.
Yeah.
But that'd be too good then, I think.
I think it would be too good. I mean, when you think, you know, in the long history of Magic games, it's very rare to find a troop that costs less than, you know, costs 3 that deals damage itself and draws a card. You know, when you think of Magic the Gathering, you think of Ophidian, Shadow Mage Infiltrator, etc. If you think of Hex at the moment, you're looking at Dreamer, aren't you? Which draws 1 card, but it is unblockable, so... But yeah...
You could just shift this onto a Dreamer and just draw 4.
Yeah, there is that, yeah.
I can see him as a one-of, maybe, in the
In the mono
the
Sapphire
sideboards,
deck,
in
yeah.
Mono Sapphire.
Yeah,
He's good in limited. I think he's very good in limited.
yeah, it's like for any deck which is looking for a way to break the mirror or something like that, I'll draw 4 cards instead of 1 when I hit with my Eldritch Dreamer. Seems fine. Next up, because Mimic obviously wasn't played enough, we've got Replica Reinforcements.
Well, this is rubbish, isn't it?
I don't think it's very good now.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Yeah, create a replica target troop you control, and each troop you control that shares a trait with it, and put those troops into your hand.
This is like Echoes of Medivh from Hearthstone, but you don't have any 0-cost 8/8s.
Exactly. And also, it's a lot harder to work with, basically. Yeah, I'm not a fan at all. I think it's a trash rare.
Yep. Put it in the bin.
Yep. Next up, Runeweb Infiltrator, 1/1 Venom Ranger with flight. When it deals damage to an opposing champion, 2 spiders.
Yep. Casting cost of 2, so it works with Mirror Knight.
Yep. It's fine. This is fine. You will fill your opponent's deck with spiders, and they will hate you.
Limited again, really good.
Do you know what the funny thing is with these spiderling eggs? You could end up putting so many of them in your opponent's deck, you could actually end up chaining them.
Yeah, I've seen that happen in the Zarlak thing.
Yeah, you just end up like chaining 3 or 4 spiders in one go, and it's like, oh, well, okay. Next up, Slaughter Gear's Innovation, another version of these socketable cards. Socketable Major basic action. Transform an artifact you control in your hand into a War Hulk with all socketed powers of this.
Seems too expensive.
I'm not sure because it's Socketable Major.
So you're going to spend 5 mana to turn
something
because you're going to pay the mana for the War Hulk, right?
No, the War Hulk. No, because it's an artifact you control or in your hand. So
okay, right.
So you just turn your
Hex Geode into a War Hulk.
You turn your Hex Geode into a War Hulk that draws a card whenever it hits your opponent or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's okay in draft, maybe.
I think limited it's fine. I don't think it sees constructive play like ever, but I think that it's
Pretty cool artwork again.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a limited bomb. I think you'll definitely see it going limited. Oh, next up, Lee's going to have a moment here. Just hang on a second. We have Syzygy.
It's like Synergy, but better.
Yeah.
I want to break this card so bad.
Yeah, I do as well. When you play an action, all your cards with the same name in all zones get cost -1.
Ragefire.
Yeah. So Ragefire, so
Crash of Rhinos.
Crash of Beasts, not Crash of Rhinos.
It makes Rhinos.
Yeah, it does make Rhinos. Relentless Corruption.
All the escalate spells.
All the escalation spells, yeah.
All like Oracle Song.
Yeah. And the thing is, I want to know how to... No, it doesn't work with Chimes of the Zodiac. It only works on the first one. But you get the idea. I'm not too sure because I still think the game's lacking a bit in library manipulation.
But you can scheme. Was it scheme from the last one that shuffles?
It was, yes, that shuffles 4 copies of a single card into your deck, yeah.
And then you can use the Cerebral Fulmination to draw extra cards, and you just end up with lots of free burn spells.
Like, doing it combo coming at you.
I'll make a video and then I'll cry because it's rubbish.
Yeah, it's like,
I will do it for you guys.
It's like, and I spent 6,000 platinum making this deck.
It'll be more, and I borrowed cards off Boomer to make this deck.
Yeah, probably. Next up, Thunderfield Elder. 3 mana, 3/2. Prophecy. When this enters play, the next action in your deck gets when you play this, copy it.
Seems fine, but you ain't playing it in a deck with Counterspell. Magic.
No, but you are playing it in a deck with Zodiac Divination.
Yeah, and any escalation spells.
Any
escalation.
escalation.
That deck we were just talking about, he's probably going to be in it.
Probably, yeah. I just wish you could see the first card, the top card of your library.
Yeah, well, you play that guy as well. But the thing is, if you think about setting up the top card of your library guy, these guys, and then Synergy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Syzygy.
And
you can see the top card of your deck. All you need away is to loot.
Yeah.
To draw one, discard one, and you're off to the races.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, but Lee's getting ideas. We like getting ideas. I mean, you've already seen a couple of crazy decks from us, so I'm sure there'll be something else coming. Next up, Lee's going to have another moment here, but so am I. It's Time's Offering.
They printed it. I wanted this from the last set. They said they were going to do it, and they took it away from me. But it was on a guy last time, I think.
It was on a guy, yeah.
So this makes Mono Sapphire the most ridiculous deck ever.
It does pretty much, doesn't it? So, for those of you who want this innocuous-looking card, it is a 2-mana quick action that's socketable minor. Void target troop you control. It gets at the end of your turn, if this is in your void, put it into play this turn. This troop gets all socketed powers of this. So, Lee, what can we do with this card?
We can put some spell shield on some things, I guess.
Yeah, you can put spell shield on your Reese. Yeah, you can certainly do that. We can also do things like, for example, blink your Buccaneer.
Blink my Grolk.
Blink my Corpse Fly. Save my creature from removal. Blink my guy out. Cast Extinction. Bring my guy back in. Let's see, what else can we do on this front? Save my guy. I've said save my guy from removal, haven't I?
Blink my Reese that's already been inspired by my Mirror Knight. Get him another inspired by the Mirror Knight and make him untargetable.
Yeah.
Or give him flight, because that's really something he's missing.
Yeah. The one that I always, I was thinking about this on the way, thinking about this day. So, you make the turn 2 Mirror Knight, you then Corpse Fly, you then attack with your Corpse Fly, your opponent goes, you know what, I'm actually going to kill that Corpse Fly. You go, actually, you're not going to kill my Corpse Fly. It jumps out of the game, it comes back in.
You then sack it to your hero power and boost your Mirror Knight.
Yeah, you make a Monsoon, you sack your Corpse Fly to your, boost your Monsoon, draw some more cards, get your Corpse Fly back when Monsoon comes into play. Your opponent at this point is down about 5 billion cards. Yeah, this card's really... I mean, we're big fan. To be fair, I think we're overly happy that we get Blink cards whenever we see them.
Because I used to play Blink Riders in Magic. You used to get to, void out a 2/2 flyer that came back in and draw you 2 cards. But there was also a red guy that you did it to. And he comes back in and, destroys a land when he comes into play.
Blows up a resource when he comes in, yeah.
Woo!
The other thing that I was thinking of this is maybe making an accelerate, because in one of the Hex invitations, I basically made a Sapphire Ruby deck that had Hex engines ramping up into Zakias and things like that. So what you could actually do is make your Hex engine turn 3 or 4, whichever turn you want to make it, and then you can actually make Archmage and hold this up.
Oh yeah, and blink my Archmage, draw a card.
Give it spell shield.
And green blue's pretty. Sorry, wild Sapphire is going to be pretty good, I reckon. Anyway, there's a lot of guys that work well with this because they fight things when they come into play.
Yeah, you will see them when we come in. So I think this card is bonkers.
Yep.
Personally,
Yep.
And the thing is, it looks so unbelievably innocuous, doesn't it? It just
trying to think of all the other things you could do with it. If you blink a guy with the, in Ruby, with the coming to play deal damage on as well.
That's a major socket, unfortunately.
No, but if the guy's already got it on him.
Oh, yeah. It resets all your 187 abilities. So it's Fang of the Mountain God, you can just blink out and whatever it's got in it, you just smack your opponent with.
Talking about draft, you can blink out you each sack a guy thing.
Yeah.
If you don't have a guy in play, oh well, my guy came back and you can play him.
Yeah.
Then can you respond to his coming to play ability and blink him?
Yes.
So then you don't have a guy there, sack a guy. He comes back at the end of the turn, they sack a guy.
Yeah.
And then you sack a guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was making the motions of playing cards with my hand then as well.
Oh, I'm doing that, but I'm on camera, so people can see me doing that.
You don't want me to have a camera.
Comments in the chat. Do we want Lee to get a camera? Chat down there.
Comments.
Okay. And the final Sapphire card, now that we've done gushing over Time's Offering, is Wakuna Crowfeather. 2/4 for 4. When this enters play, the next troop in your deck gets +2/+2 and flight.
This is another limited bomb.
Yeah, it's a limited bomb.
And then you can blink him.
This
may be a theme for the rest of these spoilers, guys. I'm sorry.
The good thing is for Lee that Time's Offering is uncommon, so therefore he'll be able to pick them up fairly cheaply. You won't need to borrow mine constantly. When this enters play, the next troop in your deck, yeah. 2/4 is small for the cost, obviously, but it makes your next creature a house. So, obviously, in Limited, this is super good. Constructed, no, I'm not.
No, he won't fit in Constructed, I don't think. And that you could play him, then blink him, and it's the same troop, but he'll be 4/4 and
Yeah, +4/+4 and flight. So, that's Sapphire, and we're just going to give Lee a moment to compose himself. Okay, that's long enough. Let's go into the elves, or Ruby, shall we? Now, elves have moved into Ruby as well as being in Wild. So, first up, we have Ashwood Blade Master. 2/1 for 3, with Swift Strike, and 3 elves you control get +1 attack.
Seems okay.
I think he's okay. The 1 toughness does not sell me.
Yeah.
That was something we learned very quickly in set 1, is that 1 toughness is not good in this game. So, therefore, I don't really want to pay 3 mana for something with 1 toughness. Admittedly, his ability is potentially game-ending. But I think that he might be something that you almost play as a spell. You basically use him as like a mini like a mini onslaught. It's just like 6
Just
mana.
means you can use your mana every turn.
Yeah, pretty much. Next up,
you do go late game with your aggro deck.
Yeah. Next up, we have Ashwood Maestro, which is a 3/1 for 2 that at the start of each champion's turn, they gain 2 resources. That is risky.
He feels really good as long as your opponent isn't getting a turn next.
Yeah. Which he is, usually.
I should master it.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, I think if you play this guy on 2, you're going to really regret it. Because your opponent's going to go on 4, they're going to drop a Vampire King, and you're going to be upset.
Like the Archer meme springs to mind.
Yeah. It's like, or they're going to,
the Mr. Obvious, man. If you make this guy on turn 2, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't play him at any point. There may be some random niche deck that plays him.
Yeah. Next up is Ashwood Soloist. It's a 1/1 that when it attacks, you gain a resource.
Are they putting an entire band in?
I think so.
This guy seems really good. He doesn't have to deal damage.
No, but unlike Howling Brave, he actually does have to attack.
Yeah, but it's a red effect, isn't it?
Ruby effect, yeah.
Ruby, yeah. Still going to call it red, but yeah, Ruby.
Yeah, I think that for the fact that he is in Ruby, it's fine. Gets you towards your...
Plus, he's going for that awesome flute solo, man. How can you not like it?
True. Next up, we have... Well, flavour-wise, it's got to be good. It's Boomsmith. It's a bigger Bombsmith.
Funnily enough, this is almost in a template of a WoW TCG card called Haloon Battlecaster. It was a 4-drop for Horde, 2/1, and he comes into play, deal 2 damage, but he also had long range, so when he attacked a creature, he didn't take damage.
Yeah.
I was allowed to get 4 of them in a draft at Nationals one year.
And you won a lot, I take it.
I 6-0'd the Nationals draft, yeah.
Yeah. Magic players would probably recognise it as Shit-Tongue Carvu, because it's not as good by any stretch.
I'd still play him. I won't play him in Constructed, but I'll pick him up in Limited.
I mean, the good thing is it deals 2 damage to target opposing troop.
So he can't shoot himself.
Yeah, so he can't shoot himself.
And then you could blink him. And give him +1/+1 from the...
from Wild Shard.
Wild Shard, yeah.
Or whatever, yeah. Give him speed, for whatever reason. I don't know why you would, but you could give him speed.
Because it's hilarious to see a dwarf on drugs? I don't know.
No, I don't know. I mean, he's running away from this nuclear explosion he's kind of caused. Might want to run quicker than that, dude. Next up, we have Chark, Hired Horn Elite, another one of our community members. In fact, the one who revealed how Extended Art actually works. 6/6 with Rage 3 for 5. At the end of your turn, if you have any resource points, a random opposing champion gains control of heart. We need mana sinks, boys!
What was the print top? And there was a yawn there on purpose because it's talking about Sensei's yawning top.
Yeah. Basically, if there is any mana sink, this guy's ridiculous.
Yep.
I'm not too sure there are any Ruby mana sinks at the moment, though, are there?
There's that elf guy we just looked at.
He's not a sink. He creates resources. You don't.
No, the one that's pay 3, put my guys.
Yeah, but you have to do it in clumps of 3, which is awkward.
So you can definitely do it on 6 then. You get him to attack.
Suppose so. Also, he's a Minotaur, and he's got a hat. Does he have a hat?
No, he's not got a hat. He's got horns.
Yeah, but it looks like he's got a hat on. I don't know.
Someone I'm sure can JPEG a hat on it for you.
Can JPEG whether he's got a hat on?
Photoshop it on. It's not JPEGing, is it? I'm showing my age.
And the flavor text is actually pretty good here, where the gold flows, Chark goes, because Chark recently, I believe, did an offer where he was basically selling a load of extended art dust for lower than normal price. It was basically a competition run by the Hex employees, and if people donated 100 gold, they got an entry into the competition, and he ended up with like 2 million gold. So it's basically where the gold flows, he does in fact go, and my webcam's having all sorts of problems at the moment, but never mind.
It's probably trying to focus on that spot.
Probably. Thanks very much. Knew I could count on you. Next up, Duplicitous Duke. 2/2 for 4. I don't like that, but shift ability. At the start of your combat phase, this gets must attack. Create a copy of this and put it into play. The created card gets speed, and at the end of combat phase, void this.
It seems convoluted.
It seems very convoluted. It's he's basically create a copy of a troop you control, and you have to attack with both of them.
Guess it's alright on a Dreamer.
Well, yeah, but you're winning anyway with that.
Cards.
Yeah, you could play real cards and not.
I think this is another trash rare.
Possibly, yeah. I don't think it's a good one. Next up, I'll let you pronounce that, Lee.
Goacaster. Easy.
There you go. There you go. 4/6 flight. When a champion is dealt non-combat damage, create a Scarless Raider for each damage dealt and put them into play. I think that's a 1/1. I think the Scarless Raider's a 1/1 and put it into play.
He seems alright, I guess.
He's very 7 though.
And very doesn't have speed.
Yeah, very doesn't have speed, and very isn't Zakia. Limited, obviously, really good. I mean, a 4/6 fly is good in limited.
He's still a bit 7.
He is a bit 7, but to be honest, actually, in the early days of set 1, I actually took Terrorbots in non-dwarf decks, because 3/5 flyers are surprisingly hard to kill.
Yep.
I think it's the same with this guy. It's like a 4/6 flyer is surprisingly difficult to kill. However, non-combat damage, it really depends how many sources there are.
If you had a ping every turn, I'd probably be quite good, but...
Yeah.
Inferno!
Yep. Oh god, that card. Next up, Tribal Warfare. 5 mana. Target troop you control and all troops you control that share a trait gain tap. This deals damage equal to its attack to another target troop this turn.
Oh, it's to troop. It was to player or troop. It'd be really good.
Yeah, to troop, it's basically punch all your opponent's creatures into the bin.
I'd say it's alright in limited, but maybe better than alright in limited.
Yeah, I think it'll be very good in limited. I don't think there's many constructed plans for it, though, to tell you the truth. Shoot the Mirror Knight first would be my suggestion. I don't think that in a format which has cards like Extinction and all the others that we've seen, I don't think you can play cards like this, to tell you the truth. And I certainly don't think it's as good as the other tribal cards we've seen. Next one is Twisted Taunter. It's got Taunt.
And defensive.
Yeah. And it's a 7/2 with defensive. When this enters play, target opposing troop gains must attack until the start of your next turn. I think this is gash, personally.
And by gash, you mean very bad?
Yes. I can see where they're going with it. They're trying to make it like a delayed murder, but I really don't think this is very good.
If it didn't have a 2 written on the side of it.
Yeah. If it had like a 6 there or something.
Like, I don't even want to blink this guy.
No.
I'm not saying something.
So, really, we're not entirely impressed with the Ruby cards, are we? when it comes down to it. Next up, we have the alternate art card. It's Carnosaurus. I like this guy a lot.
I think he's very good. I think he's going to be very underrated as well.
Yeah, he's a 2/2 for 2. When it enters play, you may have this battle target opposing troop. You might as well rename target opposing troop, naming target opposing Mirror Knight. And when a troop you control battles, you gain 2 health.
Yep, and you can blink him.
Yep. It gives Mono Wild a way to kill Mirror Knights, which I think is really important, because it stops you getting card advantaged out of the game horrifically. It also, you don't have to battle anything, and there are certainly things in Wild like Survival of the Fittest and a card that we're going to come to soon, which you will want to punch stuff with.
Punch it, Chewy.
So, yeah, I think this guy's perfectly playable.
Yep. Really good early drop. Wild was missing some really nice early drops, I think, as well.
It was. It really only had Constantina, the 3/3 for
and
3.
Puck as well.
Yeah, but Puck only really works in an Eye of Creation deck. Yeah. So I think it needed another solid 2-drop. Although, have you noticed how all of Wild's 2-drop are double Wild threshold?
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of thing that's the only thing that makes me a little bit sour on the card is the fact that
I think
that's
Wild. One of the reasons that is because of Thingamabob, the 1-drop tap game Wild stuff.
Howling Brave.
Yeah, I wanted to call it his magic name, but
yeah, it's completely different. Anyway, next up is one of the things that you can punch things with.
This guy.
Crocosaur, so that you can punch this with.
So I have it battle 2 opposing. I hope you can battle 1.
No, it says you may have this battle 2 target opposing troops. It doesn't say up to 2. However, it will usually punch your opponent's Buccaneer and Mirror Knight and say thank you. But to be honest, I would have this punch my opponent's Reese and whatever else is out there as well. I don't really care if this is used as a removal spell as long as it punches Reese.
I can't remember how it works. Can you stack his ability and he'll still do damage, then blink him? And he'll still do the 5. I think it does that.
It might do that. It might do that.
I think I got screwed over in a draft because that's how something worked and I didn't expect it to work because I removed the creature.
Oh, you killed the creature and then it still punched you from the grave, yeah. If that's the case, then yeah.
Then you can give him +1/+1 or Spell Shield or...
I mean, +1/+1's good because he comes back as a 6/7 and punches 2 more things, right?
He's like, bring it! Crocus. It reminds me of Renekton from League of Legends, actually.
Yeah. It's like, just bring it more. What is it? What's that flavor text? You feel sleepy, apparently. Oh, someone trying to hypnotize it. So that might be your only way to stop it punching you. Speaking of stuff getting bigger, Dynamite! I love pun names.
I think it's really cool artwork as well, although his neck looks a little weird.
Yeah. He is it's a basic action that target troop, it's basically the Gigantify of this set. Target troop gets +5/+5 crush, and when this dies, create a Smasherdon and put it into play. So you guys know there's your Smasherdon. It's a 5/5 with crush.
Seems good. This is what you want to pick first in Limited.
Yeah, it is a...
it's not an instant, which... It's not a quick action, which hurts.
Yeah, but it's basically 7 mana. I am going to kill you a lot. Usually...
On a flyer.
Yeah, it's basically a do you have murder? Or do you have some, kill me?
Can you imagine playing the Flying Coyote and making this free? Punch it, Chewy.
8/9 Flying Crush. Yikes.
And you got to remember, guys, it remembers if it gets blinked as well.
It does remember, so you blink it and it becomes, and then it makes your next Dynamite free. We've got combos, dude, combos.
A Dynamite he deck.
You just play. What do you call it? You just play 4 of that guy, and then as many ridiculously expensive actions as you can, like mass polymorph Dingler and stuff like that.
Yeah, I can see that actually being a deck.
Problem is, if you don't draw your 3/4, you are screwed.
Want to buy Brainstorm.
Not getting ever. Next one, Druidic Exoshaper. It's a 0/0 for 4. Well, that's a bad start. It gets +X/+X, where X is the highest cost among troops you control.
So it's a 4/4.
Yeah.
At worst.
At worst, yes. 1 shot, 0. Target troop in your hand gets +2/+2 and costs 2 more.
I think this is fine in Limited.
That's inventive, and it actually changes it. Oh, it changes its power and toughness as well.
Yep.
That's gonna be weird. Wow. I think that guy's really quite good.
I can see him being played.
Hey, at the end of the day, he's one wild shard as well.
Yeah.
You know, so you could even see him being played in Wild Sapphire or in some other color
If it gets blinked,
combinations.
does it get the one-shot ability back?
Yes.
Woo. Splinter. Sorry.
Next up, Night Sky Stargazer. 3/3 for 4 with Prophecy. When it enters play, the next troop in your deck gets +2/+2. Very solid limited card.
Really, really good limited filler.
Yeah, very solid limited card. And if you blink it, next creature in your deck gets +4/+4. So we're seeing all these things. We're seeing all the angles, guys.
Not going down a tunnel or blink it.
No, not at all.
If that deck turns out to be bad, I'm going to cry so much.
I think that it'll definitely see play just because of the fact that it can save your guys from extinction and removal spells. So I think it'll definitely see play just because of that. Never mind all the abusive crap you can do with it.
It also untaps your guy as well. So.
Yeah. Next up, Pupil of Creation. This has a lot of text.
I remember reading this and thinking, oh, this sounds really, really... Oh, it's really bad, isn't it?
Yeah. When you play a card with cost 5 or greater, add a creation counter to this, then give it +2/+2. Basic one-shot, 8 mana. Remove all creation counters from this. Reveal cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of creation counters. Remove this way. Play the revealed troops for free. Put the remaining cards into your deck. Yeah, I don't like this card.
I think it's a sideboard card in the Aya Creation deck for the mirror.
Very possibly. Very possibly.
Anything that doesn't deal with guys very well, I think this is okay in.
But again,
it has to be a deck built around putting fat things into play for a cheat.
I think it's so slow. Like for what? Because you're only going to be casting one casting cost 5 spell a turn. It's like, how good, you know, are you really going to bag off your 9/9 to look at the top 4 cards of your library?
No, but you'll have a 9/9.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's also if its action was quick, I would understand it because you'd have your 9/9, your opponent try and murder it. You go, well, I'll flip the top 4 cards. But because it's like you're never going to bag off your 9/9 to look at the top 4 cards.
I think he's fine as like a one-of in the Aya Creation deck as well.
Maybe. So,
then you reveal him off Aya Creation, you're like, God damn it.
It's like, to me, if I open this in a pack, I'm like, this is the biggest waste of not the 3/4 that makes stuff 3.
Yeah.
You know? Or the biggest waste of not a finito or whatever, you know.
The best thing about that card is it can make the blink free as well.
Obsessed much? Next up, Runeir Delete. It's a Shinhare. 2/2 with Crush for 4.
I think it's fine.
When a troop enters play under your control, this gets +2/+2 this turn.
I think it's fine in Shinari in Limited.
Yeah.
Just make random bad monsters and it gets bigger.
The problem is, I think that this set's going to be 3/3/3 draft, so it's going to be 3 times Army of Myth. So unless there's a lot more Shinhare in the set, I don't see this being too hot.
We'll see.
We'll see. Next up is Rhythmic Spiritualist. He's got rhythm, which...
So we can definitely put a band together so far, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's got too much rhythm looking at that pose, but anyway.
I think he's pretty good. Again, I think he's an amazing sideboard card in Constructed for the grindy games.
Yeah, he's basically a mini Spirit Dance as well. Also, he's a 3/4 for 3. I only just noticed that.
Yep.
That's quite undercosted.
I'm not sure it is a he, though.
Or whatever.
I'm not sure which.
I don't know. It's a tribalist, right? Nice artwork again. I do like the artwork. It looks very much like Spirit Dance, but whatever. But this is a mini Spirit Dance. You can put target troop from your graveyard into your deck, and if you do, that troop gets large.
And -2 cost.
And cost less as well, yeah. So I'm a fan. I do like this card.
Yeah, it's alright. Can't blink it, though.
No, not really. Next up. Oh, that's it. Oh, no, we've got one more. It's Titania's Majesty.
I think this is pretty busted as well, especially in Limited.
Basic action, troops you control get +2/+2 and all socketed powers. It's overrun.
So it's like you can give it +3/+3 if you want, or you can give it +2/+2 and untargetable, or if you've got Sapphire, Flight,
yeah,
draw cards.
Yeah, it's basically Onslaught. It's this version's Onslaught.
Yeah, but it's 1 green. I think you're playing this. If you open this, you pick it, and it goes in any deck you make.
Yep. I totally agree with that. It's suckable major as well, so it's you can just create an army of like Actually, that would be incredibly funny. You just mill each other completely. It's like everyone discards their hand and draw 3 cards 6 times. It's like,
and they've got spiders in the deck.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're playing 5 colours, because why not? Yeah, I mean, I think this is obviously a massive limited bomb.
I think it might see playing constructed as well.
Maybe a one-off. While Onslaught's around, I think you probably just play Onslaught. But
Well, this is very different though. This gives you guys +2/+2 in evasion.
yeah, true. Depends. Really depends what you want to go with your deck. Because obviously Onslaught gives Crush as well. So it doesn't give evasion, it just gives Stomp on things. But yeah, Tribal deck to Tainted Majesty is probably
Give all your
better.
guys Rage as well.
Yeah. Okay, so we're actually going to move on because we have an introduction of multicolored cards for the first time in Hex, and a lot of them are pretty good, I think would be what we'd say. First off, we've got Army of Myth. 3XX requires Diamond, Diamond, Ruby, Ruby threshold. Create X random unique troops and put them into play.
Seems fine.
Yeah,
I'd probably play this in
Yeah.
draft unlimited.
Oh yeah, in limited I'd definitely play. It's constructed, I think it's too random.
You play it and copy it seems pretty ridiculous.
Well, yeah, there is that, but you know, we're entering Magical Christmas land at that point. I think that this on 5 is just fine. So I just put a unique creature into play and just hope you get Argus. I think that someone did the maths on this, and it's like you're I think it's something like you're 70% likely or something like that for this to be good value.
And half the other time you get that creation woman. And
yeah, and half the other time you get something utterly crap, and then you're just sad.
Play this, get a puck. Oh.
Yeah. But it'd be like, for me, what I want is play this, get a finito. It'd be like, yes, it's not even in my colours, and I can have tarantulas. Next up, I think, is a really quite cool card. Brown Fox Scout.
So you really like this, and I'm not a big fan. It gets better because it's quick.
He's a quick brown fox, you see. But there's no lazy dog, I think, at the moment. While this is the top card of your deck, you can see it. And while it's the top card of your deck, you can play it. And also, a 3/2 for 2 that's quick seems to me to be just fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean,
Again,
it's limited.
It's one of those things where, like, I think Wild, we've discussed this, is missing early drops. And I think, and also if Wild wants to touch another colour, like we've mentioned Sapphire, all of its drops are double Wild. This is one that isn't double Wild, and it's actually a very good card, I think.
I mean, you can quick this in, get it inspired by
Mirror
Mirror
Knight,
Knight.
yeah.
Block a guy, kill a guy, draw a card.
Yeah, or like put it in, untap Buccaneer your opponent's thing, and go to town. So should we mention that Buccaneer's a defining card of the format yet?
And Mirror Knight is.
And Mirror
Sapphire's
Knight
probably
kind
a
of
bit too
is.
strong.
Sapphire's probably a bit good, yeah. Next up, we've got the Stoner.
I really like this card.
I love this card. This card's really good. 3/3 for 3. You can see the top card of your deck. 2 mana, put the top card of your deck on the bottom of your deck. Nope, don't like that card, don't like that card. Oh, I like that card, I'll leave it there.
I think this guy goes in the Syzygy deck, and with seeing the top card of your deck and said you want to loot this. This is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, he's the guy who... This guy, I think, goes in any deck where you want to play any sort of prophecy.
Yeah,
you're like,
combo or...
yeah.
I think he's really good in limited as well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's a 3 mana 3/3. That's solid as hell in limited. Plus, he's uncommon as well, so he's going to be a cheapo as well. But
He might not be good enough for constructed, but he seems fine.
I think that you can certainly see him, because he's not like he's dead late game. You put him down, you essentially draw like as many cards as you need to find a good card. So I think he's really good.
He's all right.
Especially since his ability doesn't exhaust him, you can just use it. No, to me that feels like it. He's not Future Sight or whatever the other guy is, because you can't play the top card of your deck. But just being able to see it and filter your deck that well,
It's powerful.
yeah, I think that's really good. Speaking of stuff that isn't that powerful, Grim Assimilation.
Yeah, it's a pile.
It's a pile, yeah. 4 mana.
It's a 4-cost Mind Vision.
Yeah, it's a 4-cost do nothing. Well, it's not do nothing. It does remove a creature from your opponent's hand, but unless you are in the same colours as your opponent, you will not be able to play this card.
Yep.
And
Maybe
the thing
for the
is,
mirror. I can see it being a niche thing in a control mirror where, like, the turn before they can drop their finisher, you play this and take it off them.
yeah, the other side. But the thing is, what's the card that you want to kill more than anything else? Reese. What's the card you will never be able to take with this?
Reese.
Yep. Except when they already have a Reese in play, which, here's a hint, if they have a Reese in play, you don't want to be casting a 4 casting cost spell that doesn't affect the board. So, no, I'm not a fan of this card. It might see the occasional bit of sideboard play for mirror matches, but that's about it. Hatchery Cultivator, 3 mana, 2/4. If one or more eggs will be put into an opposing champion's deck, put that many +1 in instead.
Seems okay. I'd like him to be a 3/3 instead of a 2/4. But that deck's going to be defensive anyway, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be very defensive, and it's going to make it. It's going to have all these high toughness guys, and then its spiderlings are just going to annoy you to death.
They're going to pile on, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Pile on.
I don't think spiders can yell "Everyone get in here," though.
Don't know if they find a big enough orifice.
Oh, maybe. Next up, Lanpor, Prophet of Fate, or Lanupor, or whatever he's called. When you play a prophesied card, he gets +2/+2. He also has prophecy himself. When it enters play, the next troop in your deck gets +2/+2. The next action in your deck gets cost -2, and the next resource gets gained 2 charges.
He does have triple resource though.
He does have triple resource requirement, yes. So I don't think he's going to see a lot of play.
You can splash one of the colours, then you can play him in limited, I think.
Maybe, yeah. Again, bomb in limited, I'm pretty sure. If you can play him, he's going to bomb-tastic your deck out.
He's just trying to tie the diamond
into the Coyotes.
Into the new set's Coyotes, I think.
Yeah, possibly. Next up is Periwinkle, a 3 mana 1/2. Yeah. Whenever you play a card with cost 5 or greater, copy it.
That seems pretty powerful.
Yep. I mean, let's face it, the Eye of Creation decks or those sort of ramp decks are going to get up to 8 mana very quickly, so you just play Periwinkle and then play a 5 casting cost spell. I don't think you can leave it in play. You know, it's
a must kill. It's like if you're the Ruby Wild deck, you put this guy into play before your 2 dwarfs flip up and give you tons of mana.
Yep. And then you cast Eye of Creation, copy it, and go whee.
Yep.
But I think that
that will be busted.
Yeah. And then another card that we really like from this set.
And you can't blink it.
Windsinger, Master of the Hunt, and you can't blink this guy, but you don't care. Although you can, because your resources replenish at the start of each opposing champion's turn, so you then have mana up to blink him to save him from removal.
Mm-hmm.
And then
give him Spell Shield.
And give him Spell Shield or Flight, which would be quite good. And
this guy's batshit crazy.
Yeah, and then when an opposing champion draws a card, you may draw a card. So screw you in your Stormcloud Mirror Knight action. I get to do it as well.
I've been wanting to put together a Wild Sapphire tempo control deck for ages,
and this guy's
just not been there.
I think this guy's the key to making it work, because he's basically a threat that you can immediately protect. And that's kind of the issue with the Wild Sapphire decks at the moment, is that they only play 1 spell a turn, and they have to decide whether to play a guy or hold up mana to be able to counter magic something.
So you just smash, tap 6, play this guy on tap, and have a handful of counter magic.
Yep. Have a handful of counter magic and or blinks.
Yep.
And you just go, well... And the thing is, the longer this guy stays in play, the progressively worse it gets for your opponent.
I'd say if you get to untap again in your own turn with this guy in play, you probably won the game.
Yeah. I think basically your opponent is going to have a 1-turn window to kill this, and if he doesn't kill it, he's going to have a very hard time getting back into the game. So this guy could be what pushes Wild Sapphire into an actual playable deck. Because Because I played against Wild Sapphire, and I really thought it'd be a tough matchup when I was playing like Ruby Sapphire Control, and it just wasn't. Because, you know,
I just want to make turn 2 Buccaneers and turn 4 Gralks and blink them, and you'd probably only play like 2 counter magics and 4 verdicts just to protect your guys.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, if you're protecting your guy, wouldn't you play blink over verdict anyway?
I guess, yeah. So maybe you just play 4 counter spells and 4 blinks and just go to town.
It seems to me there's nothing you'd want to counter with verdict that you wouldn't counter with blink anyway.
Here's a question for you: how many of these do you put in a constructed deck?
I would put 3 in personally.
Yeah, I'd say 2 and 4 peaks.
It depends.
Thing is, peak gets so much extra value.
Yeah, it's like the thing is, I would want to always draw this, which means I would want to play 3, but I would never want to draw 2 of them, which is why I don't play 4. Which is that's kind of the logic behind playing 3, is that if you play 4, you shouldn't be unhappy to draw 2 of them. Whereas if you're playing Windsinger, then because he's unique, you obviously don't want to draw 2 because he's a dead draw. I think this guy is crazy, and we'll just have to see. The thing is, I mean, I've watched you and I've watched other people play the Mono Sapphire control deck. It definitely leaves itself open to having something big resolved on it at certain periods. There are times when it leaves itself open to have something big resolved on it.
Yep.
But the thing is, usually it can control that because it just bounces it with Buccaneer or taps it with Grok or whatever. This guy breaks that rule. So therefore, Mono Sapphire has to do one of 2 things. It either has to not come out of the blocks very fast, in which case you're not under any pressure, so you can just develop your board. You don't have to slam this guy. Or it has to not draw you, basically, and get like the Reese with multiple counter magic back up. But the thing is, because you're Wild Sapphire, you're probably going to have your own Reeses.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's nothing to stop you playing Reese in this deck as well.
Yeah, so
Reese can come in, you can protect it.
Yeah.
And then untap afterwards as well with this guy.
The only thing that's holding me back at the moment is the fact you can only play 60 cards in a deck, and I want to do so much. You know, that's kind of the issue where we are. I could actually see just playing a jank bot deck just so I could stick everything I wanted to in it.
Yeah. It's alright, I'll trim your deck now, that's what I'm good at.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. We'll move on to the final bits and pieces. First off, we have a new hero, and that's Benvolio.
Or Bendovio.
So he's similar to Crannock in a way that he's taken Wyatt's ability, which is draw a card, taken a mana off it.
Rubified it.
Yeah, well, taken a mana off it, changed its colour, and given it a drawback, basically. It's 4 mana, draw a card. If the drawn card is a non-resource card, it gets at the end of your turn, discard it. So I think he's an aggressive Wyatt, basically, isn't he?
Yeah, it seems like you're just going, flip the top card of my deck, hope it's a dude or a burn spell.
Yeah. The only issue I kind of have is that if you're playing an aggressive deck, I think there are just better champions.
Yeah, you just play Poker, right?
You play either Poker or Sir Giles. You play one of the 2. We have a new set of shards coming in. First up is Feral Root Acorn. It's 1/1.
With allegiance.
Yep, it's 1/1, gain a charge, and if you have allegiance, you gain health or one of either colour of mana. I like the fact they put the health on, because there are sometimes late in the game you don't need that threshold.
Yeah.
It's like you've got all the threshold you want, you don't need any more. So the 3 health is actually a big deal. I'm really wondering what they're going to do with the spider one with this. Are they all going to have health on them? Or is the venom one going to be like, put 3 spider eggs in your opponent's deck?
I don't think it can be that powerful. Maybe put Art Egg in.
Well, you know.
What, you're going to have the, the aggressive red-white one deal 3 damage?
Yes, damn it. That's what Magic did right at the beginning, right?
And the Sapphire one draw 3 cards.
Yeah, Sapphire one should be draw 3 cards. That was perfectly balanced for Magic, wasn't it?
Or the Coyote one being the guy on top of your next guy's free.
Yeah, something like that. So now that we've sorted that out, let's move on to the artifact. By the way, the only thing I have against this is that it's rare. So they're introducing rare resources, which
Which means you need 4 of each.
You need 4 of each, which is an instant 2,500 platinum down the drain. Because, you know, if crackling vortex is anything to go by, rare resources generally cost 500 to 600 platinum. Which, you know, if they have 4 of it, if you want 4 of each of these in each of the color combinations, that's going to get very expensive. Next up, we have some artifacts. We have Eternal Sage, otherwise known as Limited Brokenness.
Yeah, it's a shame it won't transfer over to constructed ever.
No, it won't. I mean, a 5-mana 5/5 is fine, but none of the Eternal cards, aside from Eternal Guardian, have seen any play. Eternal Guardian only sees play because at the beginning of the game, a load of decks were just completely incapable of handling it, so you just won. And occasionally it does see play in decks with Soul Marble, because Soul Marble Eternal Guardians is just annoying. Yeah, I think this guy, obviously he's utterly ridiculous in Limited. So I think he's absolutely absurd in Limited. Constructed, he's not going to see much play. Next up, speaking of cards which look cool, which probably aren't that good, Necropolis Tablet.
Boomer really wants to break this card.
I really want this card to be good, but it just isn't. If you have all 5 resources, you can exhaust it and draw a card. Obviously, the effect's powerful if you've got it, but it's 6 mana, and there's just better things to do with 6 mana than draw a single card. It's like, I think the time has long gone where James Day Tomb and cards like it were playable and constructed. If you want to go, you know, we don't know what the fixing's like, but I think in Limited you would be going very long to play this card.
Yep.
And speaking of going long, Unity Generator. 4 mana to do nothing, 2 mana gain a threshold of your choice. So it's
Combo.
So it's 6 mana to gain a threshold of your choice. So that feels very overcosted.
Yeah, but it works with the tablet. We're in.
Yeah, we're in. How many mana do you have to pay for it again to draw an extra card?
Be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Speaking of fine, I think overall so far the spoilers have been pretty impressive. Lee's been gushing relentlessly about blinking things, and overall, yeah, I think it's a very promising set so far, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that blink card's terrible though. None of you should ever play with it.
Yeah, don't play with it. I just don't.
Yeah, things will just get complicated, and
yeah, just take stuff and smash face with it. That's all you need to know. So we're going to leave it there for this video, guys. Thanks very much for joining us. I'm Boomer for Carvel Gaming, and for Lee.
Bye-bye.
See you next time, guys.